Welcome back, Jim.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry for your loss.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. Everybody's moving forward. Thank you.
Good to hear. Tough times. All right, today is Tuesday, October 20th, 2020. It's the Westborough Design Review Board public hearing. I will read the governor's proclamation here. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law and the governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place, this meeting of the Design Review Board will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and/or parties with a right and/or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the Town of Westborough's website at town.westborough.ma.us. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to watch this meeting may do so in the following manner. Members of the public wishing to participate from their remote location are encouraged to email their questions to planning@town.westborough.ma.us. Emails need to include your full name and address in the subject line in order to be read as part of the record. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. This meeting can be viewed on Verizon Channel 28 and Charter Channel 192 or live streamed online at westboroughTV.org. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the Town of Westborough's website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Excellent. All right. Kristen, do we want to do the old meeting first or the minutes? Or do you want to do that after?
We can do that after.
Okay. Excellent. All right. First meeting up is 100 Dr. Solomon Carter Fuller Way, Pulte Homes. We're going to review approval for modifications to siding on 2 Talbot and 11 Peters Farm Way. Anyone here to speak to that?
Good morning. How are you?
Good. It's your name and where you're from?
My name is Matthew Hamilton. I work for Pulte Homes. I'm the senior field manager here at Chauncey Lake.
Okay, Matthew, what do we got today?
So when Jim and I did our planning board walkthrough on 11 Peters Farm Way a little over a week ago, we discovered that there was a discrepancy between the approved plans with the planning board, which you see on your screen right now, and the plans that were sent over from our architect for the building permit. Okay. So in the field, we build off of the building permit plans, which is that right there. Okay. So you'll notice the 3 gables in the back, the upper part of those gables are all shown as shake, but the lower sections are shown as clapboard siding or vinyl clapboard siding, where on the planning board approved plans, they are shown as shake in the entire gable there. So building 14 and building 12, which is 2 Talbot and 11 Peters Farm Way, both of those buildings have been built with siding on those 3 rear gables. What Pulte would like to propose is that if you guys can give us an approval to leave those 2 buildings the way that they are, going forward, we will change all future buildings to have shakes on those 3 gables, as shown on the approved planning board plans.
So is it just the type of siding or is it color also has been changed?
So there are 2 colors on the building. We do have a shake color and a siding color. So the color of there you go, perfect. Mm-hmm. So the shake color is the darker gray, where the siding is the lighter beige.
Mm-hmm. And I think, as you said, that shake and color was supposed to be pretty much the body of those 3 entire gables. projection.
Correct. So you'll see the white AZAC trim on the two side gables.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot there. The big one is that middle gable.
Yeah. Yeah, it certainly is a little boring. And again, the ones with the, in my opinion, the ones with the projecting gables, there's no real foul there. But the middle one, I guess I'm reacting to a little, looks a little stark, since the rest of it is the same siding.
Yeah, we do try and do as much detail on these buildings as we can. You'll see the headers above quite a few of the windows, things like that, the extra band boards that we add for detail. It was a missight on our part, between the planning board approved plan and what came back from our architect.
And Matt, when you say, maybe Jim should answer this, when you say the planning board approved, I assume those are the same drawings that are approved by this board as well.
I think Matt misspoke. He meant the design review board plans.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right. So anybody else? Dan, you have any comments on this?
Where is the building? What is that facing?
Both of these are facing out into a grassed area and the state DYS building.
So it's not
backing up directly to another building.
And I guess my question, like, who is really, how much, from the road or anything, can this be seen, like,
No.
by the general public?
No. It's not a general common area. There is one walking path that goes behind. But once you get into the more of the general common area, that will be out more in the middle of the subdivision, where these two buildings are both on the outside edge.
Yeah.
So
well, I would think that, it would be nice to have it that way, but if there's not a lot of people visualizing it, then I think it's a little less important. But that's just, my opinion is I would like to see it, but I don't think that, if it's not in a public way that a lot of people are viewing, then I think it'd be okay.
Okay. Cindy, how about you?
I guess I agree with Dan's comments in that it's the rear of the building, and I gather the rest of the buildings as they go up will meet the requirements that were set forth before. So I'm okay with it.
I will send these back over to the architects to make sure that the changes are made on all future buildings.
Matt, forgive me. So how many other buildings have this same design and scheme?
So just two buildings that are up right now have the same issue that we have. We have another 12 buildings to go, though.
And they're all the same, pretty much?
They're all pretty similar. Yep. Color changes a little bit, but that's about it.
Okay. Do we have Hazel or Heather?
Yeah, Hazel. The only change really is that center gable part, which should have been the darker color. Is that correct?
Correct.
The other two gables with the bays, but there's, very little siding visible, in between and on either side of those.
Yeah, you're talking about a foot in the middle, a foot on each end coming down the sides on those two outer gables.
Okay, so the gable between the two white gables was supposed to be a dark color?
Correct. And it was supposed to be shakes.
Okay, so that's the only change. It would have been a dark color like the one on the far right behind the tree that you're showing in this picture.
Yes.
Okay, all right. No, I mean, I don't see, a need to change this. And I'm, mainly because it's not really going to be seen. But, you know, I look forward to having them all as we originally agreed on that. So that's, I'll go along with this, not a problem.
Okay, so we're okay leaving these existing two as is, but the new buildings coming up should follow the approved scheme.
Great.
Okay, all right, so does anybody want to make a motion?
One point of clarification, Michael, sorry, through you. I think that your discussion is reasonable. It's the right thing to do. The other buildings going forward, future buildings, the rears will be visible to the common green, the park area in the center of the development. So those buildings will be more important. Matt, on the plan that was shown of the architect's plan that was incorrect, do you have a title block and a date on that plan? That's the required plan. So Hazel, you can, okay. So is there a title block on that plan with a date that the board could reference in their vote?
Yes, can I get that over to you after the meeting? I have it out on my plan desk right now.
Well, the board needs to make a distinction between the architect's plans and the approved design review plans.
Okay, give me just 1 second.
So for the board's purposes, what I would like you to do is make a motion to allow the rear elevation of buildings. I think it's 9 and 12, but Matt will give you the building numbers to be as reflected on the plan, entitled and dated. Matt, what building numbers are these two?
So the one that I have up right now, sorry about the noise in the background, is Chauncey Lake Building 14. And the date on those plans was June 10th, 2020. I'm sorry, 2019. Wow.
Is there a title of the plan?
It just said, are you looking for the page number or it's just elevations?
Oh, okay. So what is the page number?
Or we can use the address also, can't we, Jim?
Yeah, the building number.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was, I think it had an address like 2 Talbot Way or something.
Yes, 2 Talbot Way and 11 Peters Farm.
Okay.
So both of these buildings that we're referring to are identical?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think there's two buildings, right? You got 14. I guess Matt will give us the number of the other building.
Right. One is Peters Way and the other, what is it, 14 Peters Way and 2 Talbot?
Yes.
It's 11 Peters Farm Way and 2 Talbot Way.
Okay.
And
And the page on the plans is 3A 3.21 and it's elevation 3.
say that again, Matt. Page number?
Page A 3.21 and elevation 3.
And the building's building 14, and there's another building number?
This one that's on this plan right now is building 14 and the other building number is building 12.
Well, okay. All right, so I will make a motion that we approve the siding changes to buildings number 12 and buildings number 14 at 2 Talbot and 11 Peters Farm Way in Westborough at the Lake Chauncey. The drawing is A3.21, is that right, Matt?
Correct. Yep.
And it is dated June 10th, 2019, and it's elevation number 3.
Correct.
We're going to allow the horizontal clapboard siding in lieu of the darker gray shake that will be on all of the new buildings. All the buildings that have not been built or sided yet will have the approved color and siding scheme.
Second.
Want to vote? Dan, you first. Dan?
Yes.
Cindy?
Yes,
Hazel?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Great. All right.
Fantastic.
Matt, Kristen, you good?
Yes. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it.
All right, Matt. Thank you. Have a great day.
Michael,
too. Thank you.
Yes, Hazel?
can I make a request? I have to leave at 9 o'clock, and could we perhaps skip to item 3? I think everyone knows my feelings on the Village Commons, and so maybe go to the 3rd item.
Okay.
Would that be okay with everyone?
Anybody have issue with that?
No.
Okay. All right. So why don't we do that? Next up, 800 Union Street, Bay State Commons, TD Bank sign application. Is someone here to speak to that?
Yes, I'm here. This is Bridget Morris with One Stop Signs.
Hello, Bridget. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. All right. So what do we got?
So pretty much all that TD Bank is proposing here is just base changes on the existing signs. A lot of them, they're removing the word bank and just going with their TD logo and changing from the dark green to the lighter green.
Okay.
But it's pretty cut dry and simple. No size changes.
So I see on the screen, we have the existing sign and that's on how many sides of the building?
Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3. Looks like 3. 3 wall signs. Then we have a monument,
Okay.
and then it looks like a multi-tenant sign, and then the drive-through clearance sign.
The chair, when you get to discussion, I'd like to just give the board a reference for the requirements for signage and zoning.
Okay. All right. So this page we're looking at now, so that it looks like the signboard stays exactly the same, and the difference is there'll be the logo and just a field of green.
Correct.
Awful.
All right, Jim, take it away.
Our zoning allows only 2 wall signs per building. You're allowed 1 roof sign. They're not proposing a roof sign. You're allowed one ground sign on the site. The signs that are placed on the entryway signs are not governed, so they can have one on the entryway, and there's also the 2 signs that are along the driveway. That's fine. You're also allowed directional signage. So if they have directional signage to the drive up, let's say, or entrance and exit to circulate around the building, that's all fine. You can have as many of those as you want. You're allowed to have up to 6 square feet of those for those directional signs. The only limitation that will be an issue for this application is that you cannot have the corporate name or the corporate logo on the directional signs. So if you have, for example, drive up teller this way with an arrow, that's fine. It just can't say TD Bank or TD with the drive up window. You can have one that says enter or exit with an arrow, but it can't be TD with an enter or exit.
So the signage proposed today, are those replacing signs that all exist today on this property?
Yes, that's correct.
So so it sounds like you've got 3 wall signs and 1 monument sign existing.
Correct. And then there's the multi-tenant sign as well.
So I remember.
Currently, there are only 2 signs on the building.
Say again, Jim?
Currently, there are only 2 wall signs.
Oh, 2 wall signs. Okay. So we've got 1 more sign. They have 1 more sign than they're supposed to have. Is that right?
Proposed, yes.
But existing, they have 2 wall signs and a monument, right?
Correct.
So how did they just do this, or was there some sort of permission granted?
This is the application. I don't expect the sign contractor knows what's required by zoning. When the original signs were approved and placed on the building, they conform to zoning. So does the drive-up signs, I believe, but you just can't have the TD on the drive-up sign, the directional signs.
So since they're modifying this, are they quote unquote grandfathered or?
So this sign here is allowed because you're allowed to have one ground sign with the logo.
Yeah.
So there's no problem with this. If they want to change that from TD Bank to TD, that's fine. It can say open 7 days if it wants. I'm only concerned about the wall sign. You can only have 2 wall signs. So they can either go with the existing elevations, the 2 that are there currently, or change out, but they can only have 2.
Okay.
And this sign, the clearance is fine, but you can't have the logo on it.
Or the logo on the entrance and exit signs. I think the logo's on that also.
Okay, so they need to remove the logos on those as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
all right. Michael, I
Our
have,
last meeting, so from our last meeting, basically they've added an additional sign. That's one of the issues, because we already went through all their signage originally and everything was approved, correct? And now they added an additional.
Yes.
Okay.
put their logo on stuff which hadn't been on it before. Michael, I have to leave, but could I make one comment?
Yes, please.
I think that TD on the building looks simply awful. It has no character. I think people looking at it aren't going to have a clue as to what that is. And I would ask that they go back and figure out something that tells people what that is. I mean, looking at that TD, I don't understand how anybody would have a clue as to what that building was. So that's kind of my comment. And I mean, the ground signs and all the rest of those with just the logo maybe aren't so bad, but I really feel strongly that I think that sign is, I don't like it, but B, I don't think it is appropriate for that building and telling people what that building is. So I'm going to sign off, but that was my comment.
Great. All right, Hazel. Thank you so much. I appreciate you making the meeting. All right. Dan, we'll start with you. Any comments?
Well, I kind of tend to agree with Hazel. If you were to ask me which sign I like better, I like the original one better. I see where she's coming from.
Cindy, how about you?
Well, I feel the same way, I guess. Did the company change its corporate logo to drop bank on all its locations?
Yes, we did about 300 locations and they're all this way.
Kristen, can you scroll to the ground sign?
I think it's up at the top.
Yeah. So, I think you need. So I don't love the ground sign, but having the green on the black, I think makes it stand out more. And particularly, Kristen, I'm sorry, if you go down to the drive-through sign. Right there. There, yeah, or even that one, or actually go through the drive-through. I'm sorry, but these two signs, this clearance, just with the black field, I just think, or there it is, right there. The ones that are on the directional sign or the main sign, I think this logo looks good on the black field, and I think given the color of the building, I think the bank and everyone is better served by having that black field to contrast it. I assume since it's on a black field here, it would probably meet the corporate standards in some manual someplace. But I like it on the black, and I think if you scroll to where it is on the building, just by itself, it just looks like it's a temporary bank, and like, yeah. So the original one, I get it. We're dropping the black, and I kind of get this green band. But I think if it were black, that band, instead of the green next to the logo, I think it would just look better and pop better, particularly given the color of this building. The other two sides, I really think are not great. I assume those are the views when you're looking over from Roach Brothers. And again, to Hazel's points, it looks like we just had some extra signs and we thought we'd plop them on the building. So I really think I'm to Hazel and everyone else's comments. I just don't think that fits, Bridget.
Okay.
I assume there are other takes at this we could go, right?
What would you suggest? The darker green?
Well, again, the corporate color is what it is. I think it just doesn't. It just looks like it's again just like pasted on the building, and having a black or some other accent color to make it sit better on the building would be better.
Okay.
And Jim, forgive me, we got to get rid of one of these, right?
Yeah, they had one of the elevations has to remain without a sign. So obviously they have 4 sides to the building. You're allowed to have a sign on 2 sides. So they're going to have to make a choice. A comment about the color while I've got the floor here. Their corporate logo is this, the TD with the green background. The board can't mess with that. That's their corporate logo. But the background, if you feel that they should have a black background, as everyone has said, to make the logo pop, that's certainly in play.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike, I would agree. Down at that sign, I think it was the drive-through sign, when you basically had almost a frame of black around it. I thought that looked a lot better. These are frameless, so it's just the green and the white. And I agree with you. I think adding that, maybe the compromise is having this laid over, a frame of black might look better.
Okay. Good. I think that's good. We got to give Bridget some feedback here. Cindy, any more feedback?
No, I think those are good suggestions.
Yeah. So like I said, Bridget, I'm partial to the directory sign, I guess we'll call it, that's on the main, how that the new green square logo fits on that black band. I just think that's the best sign we got. I just think it pops. The one to
Would
the
you
right.
suggest that for all the wall signs that they do that maybe?
Well, yeah. So or some version of that.
Okay.
The one on the right in this frame, that where it's just on a black square, I guess that's okay. But the other one, the rectangle, just seems a little more that there's some in design intention with it, I guess. But again, these are just suggestions. And one more thing, Kristen, if you can go to the ground sign. Yeah, it just kind of looks, all right, we had the same logos. It just seems to me that the dimension of the top and bottom just, I don't know, maybe it needs to be a little smaller or something like that. It just looks like we had these logos lying around, we pasted it on this ground sign again. Hate to be too cruel, but it just doesn't seem to look like it was planned or it doesn't look like it was laid out properly, I guess. So that's our feedback.
Okay.
So again, we know you probably know you're on some sort of schedule here. If you want to, take our feedback and reapply as soon as you can, we'll do our best to turn it around for you.
Sounds great. I will get back with TD Bank and then get back with you guys.
All right, Bridget. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye, Bridget.
Bye.
Okay, next. 1 Gleason Street, Village Commons. Discussion and approvals concerning summer house. All right, Farouk, you're up.
Yes, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here. There was one last item that had to be decided by the board. I had left a bunch of samples at the site. I was following up with Kristen, and I think several board members went out there and hoping that they picked out the color combo for those boards and the stucco. That's all that was left. So if you have already done that, I just have to basically show that on this plan and just call it a day. So.
Okay. So in addition to that, as I recall, there was lots of information not on the drawings that needed to be there. So this is the drawing that we hope to approve. And again, as you said, there was a stucco color we needed on there. We
Yes.
needed a window size and dimension. I think
Oh, that's all there now, except for that stucco and the color.
okay. And we know we had the brick. We know we had the standing seam metal roof. The purlins were going to be white. And I think you've got a door spec there.
Yep.
We're going to paint that black. And you've got your light fixture.
Yep.
Seagull, there it is, and it's got your height and width and depth of it. And you get purlin. So the window sizes, there it is, the window schedule. You have the window sizes there.
Yep.
Okay. And is there another drawing? This is the only drawing we need to approve, I imagine.
Yeah, just this one.
Yeah. So I think, I went out there too when I looked at the I guess what we won't call them the stucco samples, but the picture of the stucco samples.
Right.
And I think platinum was your original intent. That was the color you guys wanted to paint, finish the siding with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think there was another one. There was a cafe. I forget the name of it. And did you guys take a look at that and you feel strongly about the platinum color?
Well, I went out there and I thought that the Salem Cafe looked good next to the herringbone siding, based on the accuracy of the printout of the different stucco colors. But
Right.
that was my preference.
I agree. I thought the platinum was pretty close to I think it's the herringbone. Is that the existing siding on the garage part of the building?
Yes.
Okay. And did you guys think about that, Farouk? Or you guys?
Oh, no, that's not the existing. That's what's proposed for this garage.
So what I guess our point is, so the garage has hardy board siding on it,
Correct.
and that color is listed someplace. The
You mean the one that's built already?
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, that's sterling gray.
Sterling gray. And so this garage is the same color. This is the same garage. And you're going to paint the stucco, the platinum stucco.
Right.
Okay. So our feedback on site was, we thought the platinum was just okay. And we thought there were other colors that might be a better fit and finish for the project. And as Cindy said, one of them was Cafe. Cindy, what was it again?
Salem Cafe.
Salem Cafe. Do we have that color sample anywhere, Kristen? I apologize. I had it on an earlier email.
I'd have to look for it in my file. I can do that now.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Sorry, thank you. If I can find it. it just seemed that it was pretty close to the color of the garage. And again, you've got all those beautiful houses down there, A, B, and C. I just think it would be a shame to just, you know, dull it up. Dan, I don't, you probably, you weren't here the last couple times, right? You didn't take a look, did you?
Yeah, I wasn't able to get down there, but I saw some of the emails, and that Salem Cafe was mentioned a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this particular building is going to be perpendicular to the rows of residences. Is that right?
That is correct. It'll be parallel to the houses, perpendicular to the road.
Perpendicular to the row of houses?
I said, no. It will be parallel to the row of houses, but perpendicular to the road.
Oh, okay.
It's parallel to the houses, Cindy.
Right.
So it's closer to the street, closer to the main road there.
Yeah, it looked like another house, basically, house after house.
Yeah.
Is the summer house end of it, as you're looking at the development on the right-hand side? The summer house.
3 more houses after that. A total of 8 in that row.
I think those stucco colors are in an email, so it's going to take me a little while to search for it. Farouk, do you have that sheet that had all the stucco colors on it you could share?
I'm looking. I had taken that sheet to Staples and had it blown up. So I'll look. Okay, I found something here. It's a taupe and that, let's see here. Salem Cafe. Would you like me to forward this to you? Kristen?
Yes, if you could email it,
Yeah.
I'll share it.
Yeah, I think,
Okay.
when I took the photos on site, there just seems to be in that Salem Cafe, I thought there was more of a contrast. I've got a picture that Kristen sent to us on maybe Cindy took these on October 5th. And there's two pictures. One had the yeah, this is Cindy's email. And so I think we thought, Farouk, that, you know, the Salem Cafe offered the best contrast to that building, particularly, you know, not just that herringbone siding on the garage, but the white timber purlins, if you will, that are going to be AZAC. That the Salem Cafe just offered a better contrast.
I'm fine with it.
Cindy, do you agree with that?
Yes, I do. I thought, I didn't think the platinum went very well with the herringbone color, as it turned out.
Yeah.
From the sample anyway. And I thought the taupe was just too much of the same tone and same color. So I like the Salem Cafe myself.
Okay. Dan, you have any opinion on this? I know we're kind of yanking you in here the last second.
I would go with Cindy's recommendations.
Okay.
Yeah. Looking at this swatch, it's, you know, it looks good, and I trust her judgment.
Okay. Farouk, that okay? Salem?
Yes, I'm very fine with it.
Okay, good. All right, so it looks like, sorry, Kristen, back to that thing. So we'd like to substitute the Platinum ID with the Salem Cafe. If you scroll down, we've got, it looks like we have all the relative required information on this elevation. And it looks like there are spec sheets attached to this as well, showing the doors, the lights, the windows, and black. Okay. Jim, do you have any comments to make on this, these drawings?
Just for clarification, the platinum will be substituted with Salem Cafe.
Yes.
Okay. And the trim colors are all black.
White. Well, white trim. And
Door color is black.
yes, lamp, and the lamp is black.
Good trim.
We've got the galvanized standing seam roof. And we've got the white AZAC purlins.
So I just have to make that one change. The stucco from Platinum goes to Salem Cafe with the appropriate number, and that's it, right?
Yes. Jim, would we be able to make a condition on this to switch out platinum?
So if you approve this, I would ask that you reference the plan name and date with colors as shown, with the one exception that platinum will be changed to Salem
Cafe.
Cafe.
Good. All right. So, Christian, I can't see the block, the title block on this, but I'll make a motion. There are multiple drawings in this package, right?
Probably update the date too, because this was hand drawn on a older version, right?
Yeah. There it is, 9:30.
Okay.
Okay. All right, is that A1?
A1 revised through 10/20/20. That's what you should probably require.
So I will make a motion that we approve the drawings for 1 Gleason Street, Village Commons, the summer house. Is that what it is? Or is it Dania Drive? So we have sheets A1 and A4. Those are really the sheets we're approving. And they're dated 9/30/2020. Forgive me, Kristen, I can't see that. Is that what that says, 9/30? Do we want today's date on it?
So what I would do, Michael, is use the original date. So if Kristen scrolls down, you see there's a date in February,
Yeah, okay.
and revised through today's date.
Okay.
So 2/13/20 revised through 10/20/20.
Great, thank you, Jim. So with the exception that the stucco platinum color to be replaced with the cafe, what's it called?
Okay.
Salem Cafe.
Salem Cafe. And somewhere on that list, Kristen, if you don't mind, is the color number for Superior Stucco, the number for cafe. There it is. Yeah,
This is number 185.
185. There you go. Salem Cafe, Superior Stucco. All right, Jim, that seemed complete for your purposes?
Can Kristen read back the motion? I don't know if she was able to take it down.
Yeah.
All right. Made a motion to approve the plan sheets A1 to A4 titled Village Commons, Dania Drive, dated February 13th. What was the year on that?
20.
2020, revised through 10/20/2020 with a section that platinum stucco will be changed to number 185 Salem Cafe from Superior Stucco.
Sounds good.
Excellent. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. We'll vote. Cindy, you good?
Yes.
Dan, you're good?
Yes.
I'm good. All right. Excellent. Farouk, there you go.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You're welcome.
One question before you leave, Farouk. You had submitted building permit plans for the 2 other garages, and
Yes.
we need to approve them. So my question is, before I can sign off on your building permit, I need to know that the garage plans submitted are the same as what was previously approved by the design review board for the first garage.
Okay. The design review board, the plans that I submitted for the very first garage that we built was not exactly the same as the one that the DRB had approved 4 or 5 years ago. So we made sure that the building that is existing there now is identical to the one that the DRB had approved in 2015. So the plans that I submitted to Kristen yesterday or the day before represents the building as it is built, because the DRB had made sure that the plans and the existing building would not have any discrepancies. So that's what that is. And I will submit the old plans if you would like, but I would like to meet with you and go over the plan that I submitted yesterday versus the building that's built. They're both identical.
So the plan you submitted yesterday reflects the first garage that was built in the field.
That is correct, 100%.
Okay, so just submit to me the plans for the first garage along with the new plans for the future garages.
I will submit that. I've already submitted the new plans. I'll submit the old ones.
That's fine.
Okay.
So I don't think Farouk needs to come back for that approval as long as they match. If there's any discrepancy, then he'd have to return.
Fine.
Can I ask who seconded the summer house?
I did, Dan.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Farouk, thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
All right. So Kristen, back to old business. We have to approve some minutes. It looks like we are behind. We are very behind in that, aren't we?
Yep, so if you just want to look at these dates and see if you can approve any of those, that would be great.
All right, so as I recall, Dan, you are the signee guy.
Yeah.
So I think as I remember last meeting, we were going to approve some, and I did review them, Kristen, but is there an email you sent recently, Kristen, with these minutes on them? You recall?
No, I don't think I sent a recent email with all of these attached.
Okay. How about, let's start for the July ones. Are those, do you recall where those might be so we can review? Here it is. I have one from August 31st, DRB minutes to be reviewed. It says rough, meaning this is from
If the three that we have are the two from July, the 22nd and 29th, and then the August 31st that you're referencing. And then most recently, I think I just sent out the September 30th.
Dan and Cindy, do you have the August 31st?
I found that one.
Cindy, you got that?
I have that one, yeah. I haven't looked for the July ones yet, though.
Okay.
Let's see.
Do you want me to resend them to you right now?
Yes. So forgive me. I know Hazel may need to or want to approve these too. Yeah, if you have them all handy, Kristen, that would probably streamline this.
So we have to approve 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 meeting minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, do you think if you just sent us all 4, like we could review them and get them all back to you? Like we'll review them all, get them all to me, and I'll sign them all like within this week.
So what, Kristen, is that okay that you send them to all the members, and we'll have a Thursday evening deadline. And that way Dan could sign them on Friday. Dan, does that work for you if that works?
Yeah, yeah.
Kristen, is that okay on your end?
I think they need to be voted on to be approved.
Aha. Aha.
So, Jim, do you have any suggestion?
It's correct that they need to be voted on. We don't have a next scheduled meeting, although I'm sure the TD Bank is going to get back to us soon. I would suggest that you make the edits or corrections or suggestions and just recirculate them, and at our next meeting approve them. We can send the draft meeting minutes to the clerk with them stamped draft so that they'll know they're not approved yet, in case anyone wants to look back to see what was approved or discussed at those previous meetings.
So we'll approve everything in the TD Bank next meeting. Yeah, we'll on our own time we'll review and.
Yeah, if you circulate, Kristen, I will follow up on the email to and make sure Hazel, Heather, and Todd are in on this, and that they look at those and at least give us, if they don't make the next meeting, or if anyone doesn't make the next meeting, everybody has given their consent, if you will.
I think, is that it? Are we all set?
That is it. Excellent.
So we just need someone to make a motion to adjourn in a second.
I will make a motion that we adjourn this hearing.
I second.
All in favor? Aye.
Yes.
Record time.
Thank you to everybody. I know that some of those plans weren't all that easy to understand, so thank you for your patience working with them.
Tim, you have the patience of Job, as they say. All right, guys. Everybody have a great week.
All right,
and
thanks.
Kristen, I promise we'll push and get these minutes approved. Kristen, thank you.
Everyone. Have a great
All right,
day.
thanks.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.